All right. Good evening, guys. Good morning, good night, whatever time it is for you. Today, I got sent this video by my friend, and I thought, you know what? Let's give a full explanation, a full in depth explanation on what they're playing. And now, this game that they're going to play, I'm going to coin the name because there isn't a full, real name for the game. I'm going to call it Counter. I'm going to coin it as Counter because the whole point of the game is someone plays something. We'll say it's pen. All right, you'll get the point. And someone has to counter that, and you'll see how it works when we start the video. All right, this is a sick game. It's one of the greatest games I think I've ever seen. Of this play style, this is a really unique play style that they're doing in this game, and I'll walk you through it. This is a 3-minute video. Let's get started.
Buckle in, boys. We got a gnarly 3v3.
Okay, already pausing. We have Mini on the table, and now Mini is it's a really good opener. It's a really good first round opener. You never usually get Mini on a playfield in a tournament, and the reason is because Mini is a one-time play. It's a one-time play. There are a couple of items in game you can play more than once. In this game, it's a slight rare occurrence where you see nothing played more than once, but usually Mini is played usually around round 3 or 4 when someone actually comes up to the table with it. For it to be first round and first pick Mini it's a little rare. It's happened before. It's not something that happens often. And I just want to say it's a good first starting play. I'll give it to him.
Here. Starts out with the Minnie Mouse, calling it, hangs up immediately.
Okay. Sorry for the early pause there. Okay. I just want to talk about this. I was super excited when I saw this because I knew for a fact, the first second he did it, that he fucked it up. He fucked it up. He knows exactly what he did the straight second that he put down the phone. And I don't know if you guys caught it, if you guys have ever played this game before, but the guy in the straw hat, he knows immediately what the other guy did. And what he did is he forgot to dial a number into the phone. And that is a game-ending move. That is a round-ending move. If you don't dial a number into the phone, you're basically saying goodbye to your whole tournament career. That is such a rookie mistake. I don't know how he did it. He picked up the phone, held it for several seconds, and then put it down. With Mini in front of him, he knows Mini is such a great counter to phone, and he fucks it up entirely. God.
What does he do with that opening? Oh, he chokes her out.
The Mini Strangle it's a really great counter, but it was super lucky here, considering that the only way you can play Mini Strangle is either with a xylophone, which you'll see later. We don't play Strangle. We don't play Strangle as a move for the rest of the game. This is the only time we play Strangle. But you can play it with xylophone. You can play it with rotary phone. And the only way you can play it with rotary phone is if they don't dial a number, which is why I was saying that the guy in the straw hat knows exactly what the other guy did. And he saw, oh, he didn't dial a number, which means you can strangle Mini. And a Mini Strangle is an instant win, but there is a slight rookie mistake a couple of people have done before, where if you strangle Mini on the rotary phone and someone either dialed a number or Mini is facing you, and you're the one that placed it down while you're strangling them, you have to get out. You have to exit the game for the remainder of the game. It's more of like a kind of a sportsmanship thing, but it's also just part of the rules. It's really enforced, and it's something that a lot of people forget.
Oh, round over. Okay. That was an impressive first round. That was pretty easy. What we got now? Oh, fire truck. He's right.
All right, first red flag. He's got fire truck and blue hat. Now, the fact that the hat's blue doesn't really matter. The fact that he has a hat on does. And you'll see later why this matters. No, it doesn't really matter all that much, but the hat does get a slight disadvantage, I feel. And I think it played a big deal into why he lost this round. Foreshadowing, spoilers, the guy in the hat lost this round. And it definitely has something to do with the fire truck. Take a look at this.
In the hat, too, so we could do the double spin. So that's
As you can see right there, it glitched for a bit, but you get the point. He knocked over Mini with the arm of the fire truck, the ladder of the fire truck. And you might be thinking, that is a great play. And I'm thinking that is a great play as well. And for right now, the hat doesn't matter at all. The hat is completely out of question. But it'll come back. It'll come back into play a couple of seconds later, maybe. But the fact that Mini is down using the fire truck, this is a really uncommon play. You never see this one either. But the fact that he did it makes me think he has something else in plan. He has something else in his plan here, because you never knock with fire truck while someone's strangled unless you know what you're doing.
It up by knocking him over. Yeah, I would tower here. 2 blocks, nice. All right, it's time to double spin.
Now, as you saw there, he towered. He put a tower up, a 2-block tower. More than 2 blocks is too much, and the tower could fall over to the wind or anything. And a 1-block tower is too little, and that's just a block, and it's completely useless in gameplay. So a 2-block tower was perfect here. And he saw the 2-block tower, and he knew for a fact he had one chance to do this counter. And this counter it's something to do with the ladder of the fire truck. You have to move it ever so slightly, like super close to putting it back to its original position, but not actually putting it back to its original position. It's super hard to do, and it's the only counter you can do in this situation if you have fire truck and a strangle. And you'll see here that
there's the hat. Oh,
he accidentally puts the fire truck arm straight back to where it is, and that is a rookie mistake. There are a couple of rookie mistakes in the beginning here, and it's really devastating just how, you really have to get there's like months there's a lot of time people put into this, and to see someone like this on the playing field, they just need to go back and practice. This might be a practice tournament. This might be, but considering some of the plays later, I'm assuming this could be an actual tournament, because some of the plays you never see out of tournament because no one plays them.
We went too far. Oh, is this guy a rookie? That's tough. We got boxing glove. You can just knock everything down. Wow.
This is a good play, but as well with Mini, it is also a one-time use item. You can't use Mini. You might be able to use Mini. It depends on the rules. In these rules, you can't use Mini more than once. And in these rules, you can't use boxing glove more than once. And this is the only time you'll ever see boxing glove in game, as you'll see him throw it behind him, implying that it's not part of the game anymore and no one can use it, which is exactly what you're meant to do. If he left it on the table, it would have been an instant loss because it's an unplayable item. And you'll see why he left the tower up in a second, but dropped everything else off. It was more or less, there was no real reason why he dropped everything off. It just kind of gave him more space to do what he was going to do. And you'll see here what he does. Here, take a look.
Why do you leave the tower? Is he setting up for something? Oh, he's got the light. He could spin it.
The light is such a common move. Everyone knows it's coming. If you have boxing glove, there's a chance you have light, or a chance you have phone, which also has light. But it's really slim, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. In this case, it did happen, and it's also a one-time use item. You can't use this item again. Some of the items like the tower you can use more than once in a playing field, but people usually don't because it's more of a risky thing, and you'll see later. You'll see what they do with the tower later to get it out of the playing field as quickly as possible, because it is super risky on the playing field.
He could spin it.
The spin was immaculate. That is a great spin. You will not see a better spin of the light anywhere else. And he knows that he's done for. The spin was it. You can't do better than the spin if there's only a tower on the playing field.
Wow. Okay, this guy's pretty good. We got the doctor. He's going to use the stethoscope. Just going to scope around. 4 and 1.
Okay, what he just did there is he got 4 positions around the tower with the light, and then 1 position on top of the light. And he's scouting out where to put his stethoscope down. He's scouting out where to put some of his items down later in the game. If he gets to later in the game, he doesn't know yet at this point, so he's future-proofing in case he does. It's a really, really great play, and you never see that as well. You never see that. It's happened a couple of times. It's very uncommon. And you'll see which one he knows is the least. It's the least like frantic. He's practically checking. You can say he's metaphorically checking the heartbeat of the table to see which part of the table is less frantic, which one has a lower BPM, and he's gonna put the oh my god, he's gonna put the stethoscope on that side to indicate it.
On top, pretty good move.
There he goes. He puts it on the left side of the table. And that's not only a great play to put the stethoscope on the left side, but considering he was less frantic on that side, gives him a better chance of the stethoscope not firing back on him later.
Good scouting. What we got? Dinosaur? Oh, he could use the roar.
Okay, usually the T-Rex is a brilliant play, and it's a kind of common play. You've seen it a handful of times, maybe a bunch of times, 10 or 12, 15. Happens occasionally. The T-Rex, and it usually works. It's got like an 80% chance. But the thing is that he's used stethoscope, and he knows since which part of the table is less frantic. If you add something frantic to that side of the table, it completely off balances it, and that messes him up in the end. And the T-Rex ends up being a negative decision for his chance at winning the game.
That was impressive. Oh, but he's got Lunchbox. Oh, Lunchbox completely counters this. He can just put everything.
And this is the part where he puts the tower and the light in the lunchbox. And the lunchbox cannot be opened. It is an open once and a shut once item. You can open it and you can shut it, and that is it. You can't touch it anymore. And the fact that he put the tower in there was a great move, considering that the tower is super risky, not only for the person who placed it down, but for the opponent, because there are so many counters you can do for a tower. Even if you knock it over once, the way that it leans, if it knocks over towards you, you're out. It is super risky, and it is such a brilliant play that he took it off the table.
In there, yeah. Wow. I haven't seen the dinosaur countered that casually in a while.
Me either. That was a brilliant casual. There was a brilliant casual, like, defense line there. That was like the Uptown Funk of plays.
Wait, what we got now? Oh, it's the xylophone. Dun 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 dun.
Now, this one you don't see very often. This is called the xylophone melody. And what it is obviously it is a melody on the xylophone, and you have to play it with your right hand. Left hand it just doesn't count for some reason. It's something to do with the rules in the game. It's not me, or I didn't make the rules. I just coined the term. And it's a sort of hard counter. You need to know the backup counter melody for the xylophone in order to win this round. And it is an easy melody, but people seem to overlook it a lot, considering that xylophone isn't usually played in battle. And it's really cool. Here, take a look.
Yes, perfect. He played that.
Forgot to mention that he hits the Hello Kitty tin, which more or less it completely locks it in. So even if you wanted to open it, you can't open the Hello Kitty box anymore. It's more a useless item now. It's more just there for show. You can make a couple sounds with it, and it kind of intimidates the person. But there's no devastating effects that come from the Hello Kitty tin anymore.
Perfectly. Oh, does he know the counter melody? Dun 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 dun.
That was a great counter melody. I don't know how else to put it. He did the counter melody perfectly. The do 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 do. That was the best part. The do 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 do. He didn't have to hit the bottom note twice in a row, but he did, and he knew he was done for. The guy in the high vis like lime shirt, he knew he was done for by the time the first of the dark of the what is it? The first of the whatever, it doesn't matter. You get the point. It's the first of the lowest notes. He knew he didn't even have to hit it a second time. He knew he was over. The second time is just to solidify that. It's just to solidify. It's to up his chances. Although we already had more or less really close to a 100% chance of winning that round. That was a great round.
He knows the counter melody. Wow, that was crazy. What we got now?
Pool noodle, dude. This is known as the quote unquote douchiest move of counter, and the reason they call it that is because it is a one turn. It's a one time only usage thing, like more like the boxing glove and mini. But the thing is with it is an instant out. If you hit someone with it, they are out. And it goes for you as well. If you hit yourself with it by accident, you are out, and you just out yourself out of the game. It's a douchey weapon for the game. It's a douchey battle. I don't know, man. It's really it's like it's the worst weapon. The worst weapon you can possibly get against you in the game.
Oh, that's unblockable unless you're ready for it. Wow, good play. Pool noodles honestly slept on. I used to play it a lot.
Now he likes to say a lot that he played pool noodle a lot. And it's good that he played pool noodle, but like I said, it is a one-time use. And considering it is known as the quote-unquote, like I said, quote-unquote douchiest weapon in the game, you do get, renowned for being a douche. And, you can only play it once. You have only that and maybe a few more items you can counter with next round. But eventually you will run out of items and you will get out. And if you play pool noodle, if you get out once, you are out for the rest of the game. So it's more of like it's kind of a karma thing. And I do think it's a really cool weapon, but it is really, really douchey sometimes.
Okay, we got Luigi now. He's got something in his hat. Oh, negate.
That throw was almost straight down, and you want it to be straight down. The straighter that the throw is, the better, the more devastating that the throw is, the straighter that it is. And that's because it makes a bigger noise. It just makes a bigger noise, and that sometimes is intimidating, but it's also devastating if it gets stuck. And in this situation, it did get stuck, it's kind of rare. It's sort of hard to do. There's a lot of places you can do it, and considering he hit on the lowest note as well, that's a good play. I would say that's probably one of the better plays of this game entirely.
It's the xylophone. You can just toss that away at this point. Yeah. Pulls out a CD.
I would like to introduce to you the CDs. And there is only one counter for the CDs, and there are two ways to counter with this one item. And it is the pen. And Luigi here, you'll see in a second, Luigi does have the pen. And there are two ways to counter, and they're the only two ways you can counter CDs, both with the pen. One of them is to autograph, and the other one is it's a really cool trick called the Hyper Pen. It's called Hyper Pen. And what it is you put the CD or an equivalent from the set. So it could be like a piece of cardboard or whatever onto the tip of the pen, and you spin it, and it has to stay on the pen for the entirety of the spin. And you can get that. It makes no difference to just autographing. There's no difference in outcome. It's known as a swag strat. It's one of the only swag strats in the game. And what that is, it's basically just one to show off. You don't need to do it, and it's harder to do, but you can do it. It's just odd.
Oh, if he has a pen, he he was holding the pen the whole time. He can just sign it.
Here he is autographing. You can see he took the easy way out, which is really it's really, really humble for him, because this guy is renowned around. He is an experienced player, and you'll see him later. You'll see what happens later in the game. But he is one of the most experienced players in counter so far in the competitive sectors. He is really, really high up there. He gets consistent first or second seeds in tournaments. And to see him go with autograph instead of hyper pen, it's super humble, and it's like it's super like respectful to his teammate. It's super respectful. I that's what I like about this guy. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's super cool for that.
This is the autograph win. This is a known end game. Wow. Okay, we got Superman in one last standoff, I think.
Here comes Superman back in. And I guess, I don't know, sometimes you are allowed to have numerous people in, but most of the time Superman isn't allowed back in for a second round. It's only usually if he was one of the first or second people to go, and if they've either ran out of people to play. And it's more of like a random base thing. It's kind of like spinning a wheel and seeing who goes up. But that's usually against the last person. The last round is when you bring someone new back up. So you need enough people to play to actually get a solid game going. And Superman is not usually the person that comes up.
Fake shit. Solid move. Stirs it. Make sure you turn it. Yeah.
I want to talk about that play for a second. He starts it off with a fake shit. And a fake shit, that is really, really odd. I've only seen that maybe once or twice before in different settings, and I'm pretty sure it was by him every time. This is like a tactic that only he does. And it's not like it's risky or anything. It's a good starter, and there are only a few ways to counter it. And you'll see Luigi does know how to counter this one. He's seen this one before. He's played with this guy before. This guy is consistently, I think, around the 4th and 5th seeds in tournaments. So you can see how Luigi and him have played before. And I want to talk about how he swished it around for a second. The swish, it is just simply a swag strat. It gives a little bit of intimidation, and it could make Luigi fumble here. But luckily, Luigi doesn't fumble, and he actually clutches out the game. And the roar from the blue rhino, it's completely cosmetic. It does nothing in the game.
There you go. Spits in it with the unicorn. Oh, we got unicorn love.
All right, the spit and the unicorn love go hand in hand. If you don't spit and then you try and unicorn love, you will not be able to move the unicorn, and thus will be stuck for the remainder of the game, which is practically an automatic lose unless somehow your opponent fucks up in the middle of their play and messes themselves up, and then you win. But if you play unicorn love and you haven't spit, then you can't move it, and you can't move anything else in the game for the rest of the round until unicorn love is off the table. So it's good that he remembered to spit. And I mean, of course he did. He's one of the best players in the game as of today, as of so far. But I would like to see more or less, maybe a little bit more wiggling afterward, because it gives him a little more leeway to be able to play a couple of things. At this point, after this, he's only allowed to play one more thing due to the amount of wiggle he had. If he had a bit more wiggle, he could have played maybe 2 or 3 more things. But considering how this game ends up, he only really needed to play one more thing, which is really lucky for him, and kind of really unlucky to how Superman ends up playing this round.
This is a weird opening. I'm not too familiar with this one. This will be nice for a final round, though. Batman Duck jumps right in.
Batman Duck is the oddest. It's one of the oddest things you can play. You never play Batman Duck if you don't have Red Solo, and you'll see in a second why you need Red Solo Cup. Batman Duck on Unicorn Love it's only something I've seen once before, and it wasn't even by him. I'm pretty sure it was by the guy in the straw hat behind him, or to the right of him, I'd say. Pretty sure it was him that played that one. In another tournament a while back. It's been a while since someone played that, and that's because it's really, really risky. And there's only one reason that you play Batman Duck on Unicorn Love, and that's if you have Red Solo Cup. And in Red Solo Cup, there's always water. And if you can get the water pour onto Batman Duck and Unicorn Love, that is an automatic win, and it does not matter how many people play him. He automatically wins the game. So this could be make or break, and this does actually end up being the final round, considering he comes back for a second time. So it's kind of odd he played this for the last round, but I mean, I kind of see where he's coming from.
Wait, he's gonna pour water on it. He's gonna pour water on it. He's gonna pour water on it.
You are about to see the greatest play that this game has ever seen. This is the most brilliant play that has ever happened in the history of this game. Mark my words. I've not seen a better counter in my life.
He blocked it!
Look at that. He got the perfect umbrella counter. And the reason I say perfect is because it is so unimprobable. It is so improbable that he actually gets that. Because there's always a chance that you get one with a hole in it, or that the umbrella doesn't open, or that simply the umbrella is broken in general and it has no cover or anything. The fact that Luigi got a perfect umbrella cover at the right time, in between Batman Duck Unicorn Love and the Red Solo Cup pour, is brilliant. And Batman Duck on Unicorn Love with this umbrella cover has never been done before. This is the first time, and God, let me tell you, this is the most brilliant play I have ever seen.
Oh! Luigi and company wins. Dude, what a good game. Holy shit.
And that is game. You can see everyone congratulating Luigi because everyone thought he was going to lose that. No one thought he actually had umbrella. Nonetheless, perfect umbrella. It is so unimprobable to get perfect umbrella. on Red Solo Cup pour, on Batman Duck Unicorn Love. This is such an improbable play. I'm pretty sure that this video would get like maybe about 5,000 views before this could happen again. And considering I have 38 subscribers, and this has never happened before, considering this is kind of this happened a month or so ago, this is an old clip, I don't think this could ever happen again. I have about the same chance of getting 5,000 views on this video than getting this play again. And no one thought it was going to happen. No one thought Perfect Umbrella could happen on this. And nonetheless, it happened, which just goes to tell you, sometimes miracles do happen. And sometimes I'm all there for it. Sometimes I'm not. And it just be like that. And I'd like to congratulate everyone that played. I do think Luigi did a brilliant job at the end. And although he is ranked #1 in the world as of now in Counter, I do think that Superman could have put up a slightly better performance. Because if he had just waited for a little bit longer to see if his opponent had Umbrella, he could have easily won this game. Because all he had to do was move the red solo cup under the Umbrella and then pour the water on, and he could have won then. But he was a little too feisty. He didn't think that Luigi would have Umbrella, nonetheless Perfect Umbrella, and he did, which is what ended up to the downfall of this round. And it could have gone one round longer if he had just put the cup down and drank from it. And there is almost there's almost no counters to that. But he decided to take the quick way out, and it decided to not be the way for him this round. I do think this is one of the better games, maybe one of the great games. This should be in the Counter Hall of Fame. Especially the last round, that counter was incredible. And that's about it. See ya.